Guys, I promise there's going to be a day I'm done talking about wide receivers and we can talk about other positions. But as news comes out, that's what we're going to talk about. So yesterday we talked about T. Higgins. Not long ago we talked about the drama-filled diva Tyreek Hill wanting to leave Miami. Apparently now he wants to stay because he probably realized, hey, there's no state income tax in Florida and I can make bank. So smart move on him and Miami. It's nice weather. Except when you're hit with a hurricane, but that's beside the point. As well, we've talked about Chris Godwin. Past offseason, we talked about Calvin Ridley. We've talked about McMillan coming out of Arizona, potentially that 4th-round pick. But now, out of San Francisco, we're not talking about Brandon Ayuk. We're talking about Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel coming out and essentially saying, hey, I want to be traded. The 49ers granted him and his agent permission to seek out a trade. So what's that mean for the New England Patriots? And the potential good and bad, pros and cons, let's jump into it. You guys know, my name's Aaron. On the daily, even Super Bowl Sunday, today, we're pushing out Patriots content. So do me a favor, don't miss out. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and comment below. If you missed yesterday, give us your prediction, who's going to win the Super Bowl, as well as the score. If you already posted that, shoot, you can post it again. I don't care. Post something random stat, prop, I don't care. Post below. Anyways, we're going to jump right into it. So Deebo Samuel is going to be seeking out a trade. Now, this is the second time in 3 years, essentially, he has asked for a trade. It makes you wonder what is going on in San Francisco with Kyle Shanahan, the 49ers, Brandon Ayuk. He wanted out last year. It just seems so up and down, drama-filled, and it makes you wonder if Kyle Shanahan has things under control over in San Francisco. This team, he has brought this team to the Super Bowl twice. Obviously, both times they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. Deebo Samuel, someone who has been frustrating for me this past year, especially on my Dynasty fantasy team. And you're like, Aaron, I absolutely do not care about your Dynasty team. There we go. Speak, Aaron. So I'm not going to talk about that. But Deebo is it's a very interesting trade. Now, he's on a 3-year deal. This next year is his last year. So wherever he's traded to, he'll have one more year unless they give him some sort of extension. Or if they decide they would give him a franchise tag or whatnot. But that being said, he has only 1 year left on his contract. That contract would be about $17.5 million. Now, that's not all necessarily guaranteed, but that is much cheaper than someone like T. Higgins, where a lot of people believe, like we talked about yesterday, he's going to be minimum $30 million, if not more, especially if he looks at the Patriots and is like, I'm willing to go to the Patriots, but you're going to have to pay me more than $30 million. You're going to have to pay me more than everyone else is even asking. So when we look at Deebo, he 29 years old, still has some gas in the tank. Very versatile player. If you look at his stats real quick, we know that he does great catching the ball, great receiver, as well as a great rusher, being able to run the jet sweep, run orbit, circle, whatever it might be to get the ball and run. And so he does a good job. He is very versatile. The question is that someone the Patriots want? And the question it comes down to is, what do the 49ers want for someone like Deebo? Let's remember when the Patriots literally made an offer on Brandon Ayuk, and Brandon Ayuk looked at it and said, yeah, no, we're not going to do that, even though the 49ers allegedly would have went with it. So the question is what will happen to Deebo? My guess is this: he's going to end up staying with the 49ers. I think they're going to get things figured out. Christian McCaffrey, everyone comes back healthy. They're going to have a better season. So who knows what happens? But again, I see that happening. Deebo, unless it was just they're willing to get rid of him for pennies, which I don't think they are. I would say, hey, Patriots, go try to take a jab at it. Go throw something at them. And honestly, I think they should if it's low. Like, hey, we'll give you, listen, 1 year left on his contract. Shoot, we'll give you a 6th-round pick for him. And then for 17.5 mil, that's not bad. Like, that's not bad. And I think he still has a lot of potential. He has a lot left in the tank. And again, it blows my mind looking at why wouldn't you want to stay in San Francisco? So that's my question to you guys. Why wouldn't he want to stay in San Francisco? Again, I know there's been drama on that team. I know there's been some issues. They literally were just in the Super Bowl, and they missed the playoffs. And I wouldn't even say they weren't even close to making the playoffs. They were not a good team, and at least cohesive team. They had injury issues at the beginning of the season to the end. It was a disaster. So I understand sometimes you have those issues, much like kind of Tyreek Hill. The Dolphins. They've been pretty well the past handful of seasons, and then this year they don't make the playoffs. Tyreek gets upset, but then he kind of comes to his senses and like, hey, you never know. We could come back, we could bounce back next year. We had injuries, Tua's out, all these different things. But the 49ers, are they going to be able to turn it around next year? Are they going to be able to stay healthy? And Deebo, maybe he's like, I am the number one receiver type, caliber type wide receiver, and I want to go try that somewhere else. And so that being the case, what do you guys think for Deebo? Is that someone that you want on the Patriots? Is someone you don't have any desire to have on the Patriots? Again, here's my take. If the Patriots can throw something their way, maybe I would say maybe one fifth round, a sixth, or a seventh round, not multiple, one. If we can send a draft pick their way, I don't think anything higher than a fifth. Again, 17.5 is not bad for a wide receiver that I think can make a huge impact on the Patriots. But when we look at it, the question comes down to is this: if he comes, he stays for a year, and then he bounces to free agency, and I guess you're only out a draft pick, so it's not a big deal. What are your guys' thoughts? Comment below. Would love to hear from you. Again, if you have not commented on the Super Bowl, comment below. Tell me what you think. And again, I just want to reiterate, the 49ers were literally just in the Super Bowl last year. And they were close to winning the Super Bowl, and so it makes you think Deebo, and maybe he's done paying all the taxes in the Bay Area. That's what he's done with that. It's because living in San Francisco, it is one of the most expensive places to live. Now, granted, I understand that the Boston area, New England area is not cheap either, but again, I'm just throwing everything out there. He'd be fun to watch with weapons like him, Pop, and depending on what they would do for a third wide receiver, if that would be Booty or what it would be. Again, Hunter Henry playing tight end, that'd be fun. Austin Hooper, hopefully he comes back. There's some weapons. You revitalize that offensive line, and you got someone like Deebo. And again, I love Pop. I know some people are up and down on Pop. I'm a big fan of Pop. So again, what do you guys think about Deebo? If the Patriots were to make an offer, what would you want to get? What would you want to give? What would you want to give to get Deebo Samuel? Comment below. Enjoy the Super Bowl tonight. I'm cheering for the Eagles. I don't want to see the three-peat. Again, don't want to deal with it. Not saying, again, this is the only three-peat that would have ever happened. Obviously, it's historical, as everyone I know wearing a Patrick Mahomes jersey around, where I'm like, so you've been a Chiefs fan? That makes no sense. Anyways, they're jumping on the bandwagon. That being said, I'm done talking. Enjoy the Super Bowl. We'll talk tomorrow. Go Pats. Hit the subscribe button. We'll talk later. Peace.